Donald Trump, in a move that has sent shockwaves through Washington, has announced his intention to cancel 78 executive orders signed by his predecessor, President Joe Biden. This unprecedented action signals a dramatic shift in American policy and sets the stage for a tumultuous period of change. Trump, known for his decisive and often controversial leadership style, is wasting no time in implementing his vision for America. This bold move has ignited a firestorm of debate and speculation, with supporters praising his decisiveness and critics decrying what they see as an abuse of power. The scope of Trump's executive actions extends far beyond simply undoing the work of the previous administration. He is actively reshaping the federal government, seeking to streamline its operations and align it more closely with his own priorities. One of the most significant aspects of this restructuring is the establishment of a new Department of Government Efficiency, headed by none other than tech mogul Elon Musk. Musk, known for his innovative approach to business and technology, will be tasked with identifying and eliminating waste and inefficiency within the federal bureaucracy. Trump's decision to bring in an outsider like Musk underscores his commitment to shaking up the status quo. He has made it clear that he is not beholden to the traditional ways of Washington and is willing to take unconventional steps to achieve his goals. This approach has endeared him to his supporters, who see him as a refreshing change from the perceived corruption and incompetence of the political establishment. However, it has also alienated many who view his methods as reckless and authoritarian. Trump's executive orders are not merely symbolic gestures, they represent a fundamental shift in the balance of power within the American government. By circumventing Congress and relying on his executive authority, Trump is asserting his dominance over the legislative branch and consolidating power in the hands of the presidency. This move has raised serious concerns about the future of American democracy, with some experts warning that it could set a dangerous precedent for future presidents. One of the most contentious aspects of Trump's agenda is his stance on social issues, particularly his views on gender and immigration. Trump has repeatedly stated his belief that there are only two genders, male and female, and he has vowed to roll back protections for transgender individuals. This stance has been met with fierce opposition from LGBTQ+ rights groups, who argue that it is discriminatory and harmful. Adding fuel to the fire, Trump has signed an executive order challenging birthright citizenship, a principle enshrined in the 14th Amendment to the United States Constitution. This amendment, adopted in 1868, grants citizenship to anyone born on American soil, regardless of the citizenship status of their parents. Trump's attempt to overturn this long-standing legal precedent has sparked outrage among legal scholars and civil rights advocates, who view it as a blatant attack on the Constitution. The potential consequences of Trump's actions are far-reaching. If he is successful in his bid to restrict birthright citizenship, it could have a profound impact on the lives of millions of people, particularly immigrants and their children. The legal battles surrounding this issue are likely to be lengthy and complex, with the potential to reach the Supreme Court. Trump's stance on social issues has further polarized an already divided nation. His supporters, many of whom share his conservative views, applaud his willingness to take a stand on what they see as moral issues. However, his critics view his actions as discriminatory and harmful, arguing that they will only serve to further marginalize already vulnerable groups. The impact of Trump's presidency is already being felt far beyond the halls of power in Washington. His policies are having a tangible effect on the lives of ordinary Americans, particularly federal employees. One of the most significant changes has been the abrupt end to work-from-home policies implemented during the COVID-19 pandemic. Trump has ordered all federal employees to return to their offices, citing the need to restore normalcy and productivity. This sudden shift has caused widespread disruption and uncertainty for federal workers, many of whom had grown accustomed to the flexibility and convenience of remote work. The return to the office has also raised concerns about the potential spread of COVID-19, particularly as new variants of the virus continue to emerge. Adding to the turmoil, Trump has announced a hiring freeze for all federal agencies, with the exception of positions deemed essential for national security or public safety. This move is part of his broader effort to reduce the size and scope of the federal government, which he views as bloated and inefficient. However, critics argue that the hiring freeze will cripple the government's ability to function effectively and deliver essential services to the American people. The uncertainty surrounding Trump's policies has created a climate of fear and anxiety among federal employees. Many are worried about their job security, while others are concerned about the long-term implications of Trump's agenda for their careers. The morale within the federal workforce has plummeted, as employees grapple with the prospect of a very different future under the Trump administration. Trump's foreign policy is also marked by a decisive break from the past. He has long been critical of international organizations, such as the World Health Organization, and he has vowed to put America's interests first on the global stage. True to his word, Trump has announced that the United States will no longer fund the WHO, accusing the organization of mishandling the COVID-19 pandemic and being too deferential to China. In another controversial move, Trump has reiterated his intention to withdraw the United States from the Paris Climate Agreement, a landmark accord aimed at combating climate change. Trump has dismissed climate change as a hoax and has argued that the Paris Agreement would harm the American economy. This decision has drawn condemnation from world leaders and environmental activists who warn that it will have dire consequences for the planet. Trump's actions on the international stage have left many wondering about America's place in the world. His America First approach has alienated many of America's traditional allies, who fear that the United States is abandoning its role as a global leader. Trump's critics argue that his policies will make the world a more dangerous and unstable place. Meanwhile, Trump's domestic agenda continues to face significant legal challenges. His executive orders on immigration, transgender rights and other issues have been met with a barrage of lawsuits from civil rights groups and state attorneys general. These legal battles are likely to drag on for years, creating a climate of uncertainty and raising questions about the limits of presidential power.